So I'd like to hand over to Margot now to speak a little bit more about how culture influences just about every aspect of business.
Okay. Okay, everybody. So I want to throw the question over to you. One of the problems that we find, particularly in high tech, because we work mostly with engineering, technically oriented people, it's very difficult to convince them how much culture is in fact connected to business. So can any of you give examples? We've taken various aspects of business here. Can any of you give examples of how you've seen culture impact on one of those areas?
They're just being shy.
Okay, let me start and then maybe you'll see what I mean. Okay, let's start with sales and marketing, which is the most obvious. Another example, the names of your products. Let's have a look at the well-known Chevrolet story. They bring out a Chevrolet model called the Nova. Okay, most cultures, Nova means new. Okay, they introduce it into the Mexican market. Mexicans just happen to be Spanish speakers. Okay, and Nova in Spanish means it doesn't move, it doesn't go. Okay, it's a total flop. They actually have to remove the car off out of Mexico, and they have to reintroduce it into the market under a totally different name. Take the example of McDonald's. McDonald's goes to India. Okay? McDonald's goes to India about 15 years ago. Only 900 million people worship the cow as the holy animal. Okay, I mean, what's that to McDonald's? 900 million people, that's nothing. They take the holy animal, they chop it into little pieces, they put it inside a hamburger bun, and they say to the Indians, eat. Okay? Eat your holy animal. Not only do they tell the Indians to eat their holy animal, they tell the Indians to pay to eat their holy animal. Okay? The Indians, who happen to be very, very passive people, does anyone remember what they did? Basically, they burnt down every McDonald's in India, quite rightly. It took McDonald's 13 months to understand that most Indians are strict vegetarians. They don't eat any meat. So today in India, you can get fish burgers, chicken burgers, veggie burgers, lamb burgers. You cannot get beef burgers in McDonald's today in India. Does anyone know what that's called? Where you take a global concept, but it's called think global, act local, okay? You localize it, you customize it for the culture in which you find yourself. Anyone know the word? To localize, absolutely, okay? So that's the idea. Take a concept, okay, a universal concept, and localize it according to the culture in which you find yourself. The other day, one of my biggest customers, I was asking them, how do they localize? And they gave me a fascinating example. They produce computer chips. Okay? They told me that they put special screens into the computer when they sell computers to North Africa and to Arab cultures. Because of the dustiness and because of the sand in the air, etc., they don't want to get it to get into the computer, so they put screens and filters to filter out the dust. Perfect example of being able to localize according to the local environment, geography, etc. Okay.
Granted, they're not as humorous, and sometimes they're a little bit more painful, but we feel them.